Ooh, gotta love it. When your podcast goes live before you're ready. There we go. Good morning, beautiful, and welcome to a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. I am going to adjust this real quick because I did not have a chance. Oh, that's super fun. Hang on just a minute. Okay, I think this may work. There we go. All right. Gotta love a plethora of technical difficulties in the morning. All right. Well, again, this is a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. And you know what? Now that I've done that, I cannot hear myself in my ear. So let me see if I can get this fixed here. All right. Yes, this indeed. You're right. This is a live podcast for sure. So we're going to see if my earpiece will work so I can hear what you're hearing. And also so I can hear you dinging in there in the chat. I already see a couple of messages. I got a little blue bubble there. Okay, let me try this again. Well, I hope that you all have had a great week. I know it's always interesting to see what kind of things are going to happen when I step in here on Thursday mornings, because let me tell you, oh, there we go. Okay, so sometimes it just amazes me the lengths to which Satan will go to prevent us from hanging out together. So do not let that hinder you this morning. Let me get that turned down just a teeny. Okay, there we go. So now, good morning. And welcome to a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus, where we're going to be spending about the next 45 minutes together in a full face makeup tutorial. I'm talking top to bottom, and then we're going to continue on in our working through the book of James and in memorizing those scriptures from the book of James. So super loved last week's song. I hope you did too. We'll get to listen to that here in just a minute. Well, who am I? My name is Wendy, and I have been wearing makeup and doing makeup for a very long time. We're not going to talk about numbers. That'd be rude this morning. But it has been my joy these last, can you believe it? We're in week 9. These last 9 weeks to get to really work through the book of James and craft the songs and the graphics and everything for you. And I just want you to know that every week before we get here, you are prayed up. All week long, I pray for you guys. I may not know your name specifically, although some of you I do, especially those who are in the Beauty and Grace Insider, because we actually get to share requests and things in there. But it is just a joy to get to think about you individually sometimes, and then sort of generally other times. So what I know is we are a group of women over 40 who love God and who love makeup. So let us get on with it. What question are we answering this week? So our easy makeup theme for today is, will the Tarte Maneater Sunset Tones make my over 40 eyes pop? So we're going to dive in and take a look at this palette, and I'm super excited. I know we've used this palette before a time or two, and just delighted to get to do it again today. So go ahead and give me a shout out in the comments. Let me know where you are coming from. Let's celebrate this day together. So like, subscribe, grab your palette, grab your lashes, grab your brushes, and get on back here. Let's get going together. Here we go. A little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. Can't wait. All right. So our foundation verse for this podcast is Psalm 119, verse 11. I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. And I know I've already talked about it a little bit this morning, but we are working our way through Color Me James. What is Color Me James, you ask? Let me tell you. So Color Me James is a journal, a study guide, memorization, all kinds of fun. It is the Adult Woman's Vacation Bible School in a book. So it comes in 3 different formats. We've got the ebook, which comes with the Beauty Insider YouTube Cherish Queen level. You get that for free with that, or you can go to the website and order that, a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus.com. It also comes in a perfect binding, which is from Amazon. And then also we've got the spiral bound, which is my favorite because it's just so much easier to lay that flat and color and fill out the journal pages and all that. And that is going to come from my website. So you got lots of different choices, lots of different ways to get in. Here's our song.
Lead with your ears, follow up with your tongue, and let anger straggle along in the rear. God's righteousness doesn't grow from human anger. Lord, tame my tongue, calm my soul, let your spirit take control. Humble my heart, shape my ways, let my life be full of grace. Your plan in peace, where pride once stood, grow in me was true and good. So throw all spoiled virtue and cancerous evil in the garbage. In simple humility, let our gardener God landscape you with the word, making a salvation garden of your life. Lord, tame my tongue, calm my soul, let your spirit take control. Humble my heart, shape my ways, let my life be full of grace. Your plan in peace, where pride once stood, grow in me was true and good.
All right, I'll let you listen to the rest of that on your own. It is in our Spotify playlist. So how do you get there? I mean, it's all over social media. Go to Spotify. You can search Color Me James. That will get you there. And then also, let me think. Well, Selah Soul has most of the time she's always posting the links and things for that. So you can find it that way as well. Let me think. Spotify, if you just circle Selah Soul or Color Me James, it should pull up that way. But anyways, wherever music is played and distributed, it's there too. I know Amazon Music, Apple Music, all that kind of thing. So enjoy that. Have fun with that. I don't know. I still think the first song was my very favorite one. So let me know what you think. So I'm going to turn the chat on. So I gotcha. Okay. Oh, good morning. Quick get in the queue for the video. All right, so this is our verse graphic for this week. We are going to be continuing on. This week we're going to be in James 1, 22 to 24. So our verse for this week is going to be, don't fool yourself into thinking that you are a listener when you are anything but. Letting the word go in one ear and then out the other. Act on what you hear. Those who hear and didn't act are like those who take a glance in the mirror, walk away, and 2 minutes later, they have no idea who they are or what they actually look like. Kind of reminds me of that, a little bit of that song from Michael Jackson, you know, The Man in the Mirror. A little bit like that. So, not quite. We're not quoting Michael Jackson here, but there you go. Okay, so this is the verse that we're going to be working on this week. And then the next day or two, you'll have those graphics come out. So you'll have that wallpaper for your phone to help use like a flashcard and help you memorize that. All right. Oh, and then the song will come out too. So, like I said, today we're going to be using the Maneater palette. Got my Maneater palette going. So that is going to be in the show notes. You can also use that QR code there to get to that. You can use whatever palette you would like. Today we're going to primarily be in yellows and oranges and kind of like a burnt orange sunset kind of look today. So that is what we are going to be looking at. Let me get over here. So we're going to start out with some matte colors, and then we're going to add a little bit of shimmer to it, but all from that palette. Okay, so again, all the products today are going to be used are going to be in the show notes, and then they'll also be on the a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of jesus.com, and you can just go to the shop and find everything there. Okay, so now we've got the verse scrolling across the bottom of our screen there. Let us get going. And so far, now I'm hoping I get your name right this week. Is it Anthea? Oh, I keep looking at your name trying to get it right. Okay, anyways, she'll say something here in just a minute. It is great to have you here with me, whether you are hanging out live or you are watching this later on. It is just wonderful to have you here with us. Now, if you just picked up your copy of Color Me James, you can either start where we are and move forward, or you can go back to the beginning. All the videos are on YouTube and on the website, so you can follow along. I'm working on an email list that will kind of guide you through that as well, just to make it a little bit easier. So let us start with our primer. We are going to start with the Professional. This is the matte primer from Benefit Cosmetics. So we're just going to give that a little bit of a shake, let that get going. This is going to minimize pores, fine lines, and wrinkles. And we're just going to, well, if we can get it to come out, we do need a little bit. There we go. We're just going to use about that much right there. And we're going to be talking about our eyes this morning. So we want to make sure we're definitely getting around that eye area. That is going to help minimize those fine lines and wrinkles around your eye, which could possibly detract from the eye makeup that we're doing today. Also, make sure you get around your lips, and that will extend the wearability of your lipstick as we are going throughout it. I love the color today. Not just the name, but it's just such a nice, beautiful color. So there we go with that. Now we're all primed up. We got our pores minimized. We got our wrinkles diminished. And now we're going to add our concealer. This is the This is the It Cosmetics by Under Eye. I am the shade 11 Light Nude. Get over to your nearest Ulta so you can find that. We're just going to use a little bead. This does better when you let it warm up to your body temperature before you blend it out. We're just going to kind of get it in place and make it looking like a mess, and then we'll blend it out. Okay. I know. I think the technology glitches have gone to my brain. Okay. Well, I mean, you have to laugh about it or else you just go a little crazy, right? So, just flow with it. Like I said, it's just always interesting to me what the devil tries to get in the way every single Thursday morning. I won't have any technology problems all week long until Thursday morning. Okay, I'm using the Juvia's Place JP102, and this is going to be our foundation brush. Love the edge on this because it really gets in around those eye areas and around the nose. So now that we've let that warm up just a smidge, we're going to blend that out. Just going to remove any harsh edges. Now we're just going to blend that onto that lid there. That's going to be our primer for our eye. And it's just going to lift and brighten and elevate that area. Now it's going to look like a little crazy for a minute. See how like kind of white it is? Don't worry about that. Okay. Hi! Oh, I'm so glad to see Rachel on here. I know you were a little under the weather. It is good to have you here this morning. Now, I see there's quite a few on here, but none of y'all are saying anything. So, I see a couple that I believe are from, we got some Europe represented. We got some Texas represented. I think Jennifer is from Arkansas. So, if y'all aren't going to say where you're from, I'm just going to shout it out for you. Okay, so we've got our redness reduced with that by Under Eye. We've got the darkness under the eye cut down a little bit. I didn't get enough sleep last night. I was prepping for y'all and praying for y'all. And so I used my favorite under eye mask. If you do not have an under eye mask that you love, I didn't bring it here as a prop, but you need to get hold of the Pure, P-U-R, what's it called? Mellow Eyes, I believe. They are a gel green under eye patch. Keep them in the refrigerator It has CBD in it. And let me tell you, those are magnificent. I never have a refrigerator without those in it. So Pure Mellow Eyes. Okay, and they're like kind of green. Okay, so we're going to be using the Lancome. This is the Tinty Doll in the shade 225N. I'm going to give that a little bit of a shake. Oh, I know, poor thing. I have had kidney stones so many times, and they are absolutely no fun at all. As soon as I saw that this morning, I said a prayer for you, girl. Okay, so we're going to take this. We're going to get that everywhere. And now we're going to blend out up into that concealer that we got up around that eye area. This is a medium to full coverage foundation. So if one time through does not give you the coverage that you want, just go ahead and do it a second time. If you wear glasses, though, like I do on most days, if you do the second time, just a warning, you're really going to end up with some tracks there where those glasses are. Just a heads up for that. If you don't wear glasses, well, first off, if you don't wear glasses and you're looking for full coverage, I would go with the Juvia's Place. But if you do wear glasses, definitely use the Lancome. Love that for glasses. Yes, ma'am. Love you too. Okay, so we're just going to blend that out. Using the edge of that brush. See how that nice corner edge right there around that nostril? Especially if you got, I don't know, mine kind of like bulb out right there. If you've got that brush, let me tell you, it just works right around those nostrils beautifully. So we also blended out under the neck just a little bit. I didn't say that, sorry. We're going to give us just a little bit of a partial pump. Ooh, it looks like I'm about ready to need a new foundation. Okay, try that again. Here we go. We're going to work that up into that hairline, yet not gooping into the hair, just right up to it. You don't want to be able to look, if you decided that you wanted to like pull your hair back or slick your hair back or whatever, you just want it blended in there so that it all looks like one, you know, seamless face happening. I remember in the 80s, it used to be a thing where your foundation was a different color and you had this like wonderful line thing right here. Wonderful with a little sarcasm. That is not a thing in 2025. So we're just going to blend out and let that be nice and seamless. Going to work that into the corner of our eye there. Now we have a nice even color so that we can add color where we want it to be. So we're going to shape, well, first we're going to set it and then we're going to shape our face. So today, now my sound just got very quiet. I hope y'all are hearing perfectly fine over there. Juvia's Place. This is the I Am Magic setting powder. This is in the shade White Sands. Just going to tip that upside down a little bit. And that's going to give us our powder in the reservoir right here. So we're going to take our brush. This is the JP 101 tapered powder brush. We're going to set that in, tap that out. I'm going to start out around the eye area. The order that you do this in doesn't really matter. I just always do it the same way because I don't want to forget something. And you know, usually, I think we were talking about this in the office yesterday, when you have a process, a system for doing things, everything gets done the same and everything gets done right. It increases your probability of not forgetting a thing. So we're just going to set that there. I'm going to set that in there again. I'm going to go down the center of the face. Every place I put shadow, I am going to shadow. Every place that I put foundation, I'm going to set it with this. And this is going to help give you a nice matte coverage. This particular powder does a good job of not settling into fine lines and wrinkles. So just work that right up around that eye area and you'll be good. And our final spot to do is going to be up here on our forehead. So I'm just going to hold my mohawk back a little bit. And we're just going to work that up into that hairline exactly like we did the foundation. Making sure we get around our brows. So when we do our brows, everything just looks like one beautiful seamless design. There we go. So y'all are being quiet about where you're from. How was your past week? Can you give me a thumbs up or a yeehaw or something like that? And how is your verse coming along? Now I know last week we did a really nice. I believe last week was the kind of teal color. Yeah, I think it was teal and silver. So how did that go for you? Did you enjoy that? What other colors did you try? All right, so we are going to contour now. Everything is set. We are like all one color. So now we're going to put our color back where we want it. So I'm going to grab my KVD Shade Plus Light Refillable Contour Palette. And we're going to be in this color here, and just a teeny smidge of this right over here. I'm going to use a foundation brush from It Cosmetics. This is going to be the low. This will be the light. So side of the brush right here, just like that. We're going to go from the top of the ear, kind of in a curve towards the corner of the eye. We're going to stay above the hollow of that cheek there. And then we're going to go right up beside that temple. And this is going to give us our low. It's going to kind of, you can see between the two sides here, it really brings in, give me a little shape because I got like a totally round face. Okay, so we're going to do that same thing on the other side. And we're going to grab just a little bit. Let me set the palette down. And we're going to go right up along that hairline and just blend that in a little bit. Just going to give you a little dimension and continuity. Now we're going to use the skinny side of that brush. We're going to go from the under of the ear to right about the corner of the mouth under that jawline. So keep a neutral face. And just work that in there. That will give you the illusion of more of a cut line to your jaw, especially if you wear any extra weight like I do. Or maybe you just genetically have a double chin, whatever the case may be. It will help to minimize that and give you more of an edge. So speaking of edge, we're going to use that edge again right here beside the nose. That is going to narrow the schnoz and give us more of a runway for our highlighter. So we're going to grab the highlighter there. We're going to run that down the middle. And then we're going to take the tip of this, go in that dark one, just a couple taps. And right here on that outside L, we're just going to give us a little more depth right here. There you go. And you can see now we've actually got some shape to the face. So we're going to set that brush aside and we're going to grab the blush brush. This one is a MAC brush. We're going to be in the Blushed Volume 4. We got orange and yellow going to be happening today. There's not really any pink in this. So I'm going to stay away from this one because there's nothing to kind of marry that together. We're going to be in this one here because it gives us a little bit of color, but it's not going to interfere with the eyeshadow. So we're just going to use the side of that blush brush. And because I've already hit pan, usually you don't need to work it that much into this palette because these are very pigmented. So we're going to go between the bronzer and the highlighter, and then between the bronzer and the highlighter here. Same thing on the other side. And then we're going to do that same thing right up here with that bronzer. Just a little bit of color up here. And then I'm not really going to add any more to the brush, but we're going to hit the tip of that nose and the chin just a smidge, just to kind of bring it all together. There we go. Now we are all contoured up. So let's go ahead. Let me see where we at. Let's go ahead and do the verse. Say the verse together, and then we're going to get on our lips. I love the lipstick color for today. It is a MAC lipstick, and I think you're going to love it too. It also wears really, really well. So we're going to be using a NYX liner and then a MAC lipstick, and I'm trying to get that verse to come around. Okay, here we go. So the verse should be scrolled around on the bottom of your screen. Here we go. Don't fool yourself into thinking that you are a listener when you are anything but. letting the word go in one ear and out the other. Act on what you hear. Sorry, I'm talking a little faster than the thing is scrolling. Those who hear and don't act are like those who glance in the mirror, walk away, and then 2 minutes later have no idea who they are or what they look like. And that is James 1:22-24. Now, James has not been pulling any punches here. He has been getting on us about do what you say you think. Because if you're not doing what you say you think, you're not really thinking it. And today's verses that we're going to be working on this week are definitely pointing that out. Everything should equal itself. So let me not step into sermon. Okay, here we go. NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner. This is in the color Orange County. I just added that to the website this morning. So there's a link on there for you. Amazon, it's kind of a little bit hard to find. I think it might be getting ready to be discontinued. Okay, and then we're going to be using the MAC. And this one is called Hot Paprika. Love this. Okay, so let's start out with that Orange County from NYX. And it is orange, which will go beautifully with the eyeshadow colors we're using today. So I'm going to start out in the middle. Okay, I think I need to give a little bit of sharpen. I feel like the outside of this may just be a little tiny bit crunchy. Here we go. A little bit of sharpen, fresh orange color. Here we go. So we got that little bit of V working in our Cupid's bow, and now we're going to round that out to the outside corner. And for today, this is really just ensuring that you have a nice clean line on the edge of your lipstick. So it gives you just a little insurance that your shape is good. And we're riding just to the outside of our lip line. So let's go ahead and do that same thing on the bottom. Okay, now we're going to come to the inside of that, and we're going to use just a little bit lighter pressure and just kind of shade that out so we have a nice smooth edge for that lipstick to kind of work up into. So really, if you use like the side of the pencil, that'll help do that. Nice. Take a step back. Check a look at your shape. Make sure that you're even on all the sides and you like the outline that you've just given yourself. Okay, once everything is as you want it to be, we're going to grab our lipstick and we are going to fill in the blanks. So here we go. This is the MAC. What is this one called? Oh, this is the Powder Kiss. This is Hot Paprika. Look at that. Wait till you see the colors. It is so gonna go. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna just color in what we just did right up to that pencil because the pencil is almost the same color as the lipstick. And I love how MAC reformulated these, so you actually get a little bit of hydration with these now. Okay, so now we've got our hot paprika on. Let's go ahead and see what we are going to be playing with today. What is going to work with these hot paprika lips? So again, we're going to be in this Tarte Maneater palette. And I know you're saying to yourself, how is she going to get something out of this neutrally sort of palette to go with these orange lips? Hang tight. We're going to do it. Here we go. So we are going to be, I hope I can get it open. Here we go. So we're going to start out here in Playful. And that's going to be up on our brow bone. And then we're going to go to Desire and Mischievous. And we're going to give a little bit of shape to the eye. And then we're going to add a little bit of Where's Insatiable? Hold on. Oh, there we go. Then we're going to play a little bit with Insatiable here. That's going to be our dark on the outside corner. Then we're going to add a little bit of Heated, and then we'll add in the center just a little bit of Sundown, and then that'll go in the corner as well. So we are going to be, oh, yay! I'm glad you like that. Isn't it beautiful? That's called Hot Paprika again. So I am going to grab just kind of a buffing shadow brush. This is a Morphe M433. We're going to go right here in this Playful, and we're just going to get that on the tip. And that is going to go up on the top of our brow bone there. This just gives us a neutral color to shade into and to blend into. So if you have darker pigment to your skin than I do, because I got none, then you'll want to use maybe one of these other shades. Go with a matte shade though. You can use the sparkle up here, but I feel for this particular look with what we're doing, I think you're going to be better off if you use a matte for this. And let me actually get this open here. There we go. Okay. So let us see. So that gives us a little color on the up there. Let me move these contour brushes out of the way. There we go. So let's add, I'm just going to use one brush for the next two mattes that we're doing. I'm going to start out with the darker one, and then we'll move to the lighter. So I'm going to start out in Mischievous right here. No, take that back. Let's go to Desire. Let's use Desire first. So we're going to take Desire. This is a lighter color, so you can really get this on both sides. It's going to go in the middle. We're going to make a T with that. It's going to go in the middle, and then we're going to go on that eye socket right there. I know it's a little weird, but hang with me. It'll work out in the end. This is just going to be kind of like a primer color as we get ready to put the other colors down. And again, on that brow bone there. So we just pretty much made a T with that nice Desire color. If you have hooded eyes like me, when you're looking straight forward, you want to see that yellow above that fold of your eye. So for me, that's going to mean I have about that much space between my brow and where that color starts. Okay, same brush. You don't need to change it out because this one, this is the Tarte Maneater palette. Okay, so now we're going to grab the same brush. I just kind of dusted it off a little tiny bit. And we're going to go into this Mischievous right here. So this is a little bit darker. So I'm only going to get that on one side of the brush. I'm going to hit the inside. And then I'm going to hit the outside. You don't need to worry too much about blending because we are going to be going back over this with the frosty colors that we're using. We're just kind of putting down some framework here. Then we're going to take that right here and we're going to use the tip of that brush and we're just going to join those two sections together. So we're just priming the eyelid for right now. So same thing on the other side. Don't worry about it looking like crazy right now. It's okay. There you go, right there on that outside corner. And then again, just on that tip, and we're gonna join those two halves together, or two sections. Just like that. There we go. So now you should look something like this. Okay. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna what order did I have this in? We weren't using alluring. Let's just do the insect. We're going to start out with the heated, right? We had the heated and the sundown. Yeah, heated. You can use the same brush, but we'll switch when we get to the other one. So heated is going to go on top of that orange we just put down. You can see it's got a nice shimmer to it. It's a little bit lighter than what we put down, but you got some beautiful shimmer to there. And because we laid that matte down on the bottom, we get some really, really nice color from that. So again, it's just going on one side of my brush. And I'm just blending it almost, it's just going over that dark color that you put down. We're going to come in just a second with that sundown and fill in that middle. So I'm going to go over that top part there. Well, I got this here. I'm going to go ahead and grab what is this one? This one is a Morphe M124. It's a little longer, little flat. You can get a little less product on it, but we're going to use that and we're going to go into Insatiable right here. Just a little tiny bit of that. And we're going to do that right here on that outside corner. We just want to give a little depth and dimension right here. So I'm just going to bring that in right there. About the brush width right there on that outside. And then we're just walking it in. And you can see that just gives us a little bit of depth there on that outside corner. Gives us some shape. Okay. Now we need to do something with that yellow thing we've got there in the middle. So I am going to, let's just do this one. This one is a Morphe M4, what is that? 431. This is a smudger, but it'll work for what we're doing. We're going to go into that sundown right here. We're going to get that sundown on there and we're going to put that right in the middle and give us a little bit of lovely bright shimmer in the middle. I don't feel like that shimmer is liking that brush too much. Let's just do it this way. You know, when all else fails, just get your finger in there and finger paint. There we go. So we're going to work that gold right there in that center. Give us that nice yellow. Right on top of that yellow that we put there. Well, as long as I got this brush out, I'm going to use this to help blend out what we have going on here with the mischievous right here. So we're just going to take that. I just dusted that brush off. And I'm just going into the heated. And I'm just working that out a little bit. Now we're getting more fine tuning. We're just going over the edges and blending it out. You can see we don't have any lines where everything is ending. Now I want to make sure that it is looking pretty up on this upper edge. So I'm going to grab the brush that we used, which was, I don't actually know that I said this one. This is a MAC. I don't remember saying MAC. Anyways, the lip shade was called Hot Paprika, and that's in the Powder Kiss line from MAC. So we're going to take this one and we're going to go into that Desire that we had, and we're just going to go over the edge there and blend those two so that we don't have a harsh edge. You're just going to go back and forth between where the Desire and the, was it Mischievous? Yeah, Desire and Mischievous was. There we go. Now I see a little tiny bit of fallout here. So I'm going to grab my fluffy brush. And gently, I'm just going to fluff those away. And then that'll get rid of that. Okay, I feel like we need a little more depth still on that outside. I'm going to grab that Morphe M124 that we were using. And alluring right here, let's do Moody. I feel like it needs a little tiny bit of pink. So I'm going to grab just tap it into that Moody ever so slightly. And let's just get that. Yeah, there we go. We're just going to get that on that outside corner just a smidge. There we go. I'm going to give it a little bit of a V right here. There you go. Much, much better. I like that. Okay. Again, brushing it away. Okay, let's go ahead and do the under eye part. Now you can see how these colors, if you're over 40 or not, these colors, the yellow and the orange together, look at how blue my eye looks right now. That is, if you have blue or green eyes, you are definitely going to be loving these colors. I am going to grab a smudger. Let me see. This is a Morphe M213. And this is just a nice one for working that under eye area. We're going to start out with the lighter color and then work our way to the outside. So I'm going to grab first the Desire, just a little bit right on the edge of that brush. We're just going to go right here on the inside. And then I'm going to grab that Mischievous, do that right on the outside. Now we're going to just dust that off on the tissue that I have in my lap, and hopefully you do too. We're going to do the Heated on the top, just like we did on the upper part of the eye. And now we're going to add that, now we're going to add that, was it Sundown? Yeah, Sundown on the inside. Now I want a little bit lighter of a color on the inside of the eye. So I'm going to grab the Heartbreaker right here. I'm just going to use that same brush. And let's just get a little bit of that Heartbreaker. This one does better. It's a little crunchy or crusty or flaky or whatever you want to call it. So just kind of tap it there and just get that right on the inside corner of the eye. There you go. And then I'll just kind of brighten up and open up the inside. I'm going to do this one more time. And we did use a tiny bit of that Moody. So I'm going to use that right here. Just on the very, very outside corner. And then I'm going to walk it up around the corner of the upper lid. Nice. So you can see we've got a little bit of that highlight happening right down the center. Man, I love the shimmer in that. So nice. And then we've got that orange blended out. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, we're going to dust away. Look how that balances out with that lipstick. Isn't that nice? Right. Okay, so we're going to complete this look with our Killer Liner from Too Faced. We're going to start on the outside corner. I'm going to go about halfway in. Just give you, now if you have wide set eyes, you probably don't need to do this part. Because what it does is it does give you a little weight to the outside, which is going to kind of pull your eyes a little bit. We're looking to just create a little bit more illusion of that weight on that outside corner. So we're going to do that same thing right in that lash line. I mean, in that lash line right here. Not really looking for a line, just looking for a little bit of color deposit. There you go. So just adding a little weight to the outside. Now we need our insurance for what we've got going on for our lashes. So I'm going to grab the Too Faced Better Than Sex Liner, Waterproof, Easy Glide, lot of names liner. We're going to go from the outside corner, just a thin line right along that lash line. And that's just going to give you a little insurance as you put your false lashes on. Also, I just like the way it looks. Especially when you use frosts, when you've got that extra color on there. This liner is absolutely beautiful once it dries, but you gotta let it dry. Especially when you, I have no idea. I lost my train of thought. Love the liner though. Do the liner all the time. Okay, so while we're waiting for the liner to fully dry, we're gonna do our brows. So whatever your brow product is, you're gonna go ahead and grab that. For me, that's gonna be the Bad Gal Bang in the color Wild Plum. You can see right now, my poor granddaughter, I went to a softball game last weekend with my to watch my grandson play, and my granddaughter, I looked over at her and I saw me in her. She has clear brows and clear lashes too. And I was like, oh, honey, I'm so sorry. But you know, one day thin, sparse brows will come back and we'll have it. Okay. So here we go. I'm just going to fill this in. If you need help with your brows, maybe you don't like the shape, maybe you don't know how to trim properly, maybe you don't know what products to use for the look that you want. So head over to your nearest Ulta Benefit Brow Bar and let them help you out. Bring a picture of the kind of brow that you want, and they will help you find the product to get you the look that you want and then show you how to use them. So that is a beautiful thing. And then they're actually professionals in brow waxing. Do not let your nail tech wax your brows. They're not brow professionals. Let arch experts do your brows. Okay. So now we're going to do the same thing on the other side with whatever brow product it is that you're using. With fashion colored hair, colored mascaras work very well. I've used lipsticks, eye color, eyeshadow, highlighter, you know, because if your hair is cotton candy pink, you're going to need something a little light. All kind of things. My opinion is if it's good for your face, it should be, you know, good for anywhere on your face. And most things wear pretty well. So there we go. Let me see. Got a little bit of a something right there. The beautiful thing about using a mascara is when you do that, it sets your brows for you in addition to giving you the color that you need right then, right there. So my favorite was blue when I had blue hair and I used the blue mascara because I just love the blue mascara. Okay. Yes, that was the sound of my earpiece falling out. There we go. So now we're going to mascara our lashes and then get on with our false lashes. So I am using the Tweezerman Onyx Great Grip Eyelash Curler. And we're going to first crimp our lashes, and then I did not even bring a mirror, so we're going to wing it today. We are going to put the lash curler on. You're going to make sure that when you pinch down on there, it's not pinching your skin. You should not feel pain when you're doing this. So go ahead and set it there. Give it a little bit of a crimp just to kind of test it. And we're going to say the verse together as soon as it rolls around, and that will be our timer for our curl. This week, long verse, you will get a great curl out of that. So it is almost rolled around to the beginning. So get that lash curler ready. Find that sweet spot that does not pinch you. And here we go. Don't fool yourself into thinking that you are a listener when you are anything but. Letting the word go in one ear and out the other. Act on what you hear. Those who hear and don't act are like those who glance in the mirror, walk away, and 2 minutes later have no idea who they are or what they look like. And that is James 1:22-24. Wow, that's a little bit long. Okay, quickly the other side because we don't want it to roll around and have to miss that. Here we go. Sweet spot. Don't fool yourself into thinking that you are a listener when you are anything but. Letting the word go in one ear and out the other. Act on what you hear. Those who hear and don't act are like those who glance in the mirror, walk away, and 2 minutes later have no idea who they are, what they look like. Who they are or what they look like. James 1:22-24. Okay, great curl today. I'm using the Bad Gal Bang. This is a water-resistant formula. Love this one. And we're just going to give just a single coat because we are wearing false lashes. So all I'm doing is turning my blonde lashes black so that it is going to blend in and match with the false lashes we're putting on. Oh, do you see what I just did? Okay. I'm going to grab the brush that had that orange on there and let's just make that disappear. There you go. Okay, back to what we're doing. Back to your regular scheduled program. There you go. We're making sure we're sweeping back on the tips there. There you go. Getting all the way from corner to corner. If you have black lashes already, you can possibly skip this step. Although one thing I do like about it is it does give you a little more volume. So if you like volume in your false lashes, I mean, why else are you wearing false lashes? But if you like volume in your lashes, this will definitely help bolster up any false lash just by having your lashes be prepped and ready to go. Okay, we're making sure we're going all the way to the outside corner. We're going from root to tip, and then we're sweeping back on those tips so that every part of that lash is covered in that mascara. And I'm gonna make sure I get the little inside ones. There we go. Okay, now we're not putting false lashes on the bottom. So we're going to make sure that we catch those bottom ones good and with a normal mascara coat because they're not getting false lashes. So here we go. We're just going to take that mascara. This one's going to be hard without my magnifying mirror. And again, we're going from root to tip. And then we're sweeping back under the tips. And try to not poke yourself in the eye. Okay, there we go. Same thing on the other side. Sweeping back under those tips. Okay. I feel like I need to go over the bottom ones one more time. When I switch from side to side, I rotate the brush around so that you're getting the fresh mascara from the other side. When you use just the one side, you still have the mascara product on the other one. So that's what I like. With my fingers, just kind of roll it over. Okay. Now that those are all good and ready to go, we are going to grab our false lashes. I'm so excited. This is really coming together. Okay, this is the Ardell, and these are the active lash. This is the style of, where's it at? Gains, right here. So, like these, nice thin, flexible band on these. These have already been trimmed. I have already wore these. So, if you have a new pair that you're getting ready to put on, you're just going to set those on your eye and kind of dry fit them and trim from the outside if you need any trimmed off. So let me set these in front of me. I am using my velour lash tool because my eyes do not like it when I start putting my fingers in front of my eye. I don't know. It's just a thing. I start blinking like crazy and crazy things happen. So I am just going to set these down in front of me. Let me grab this one. Looks like I've got a little, once you've wore the lashes before, every once in a while, you're going to end up with like, I don't know, a little stray hair on it or something. Also, you can see on this one that my curl has seemed to got off. So let me show you this tool here. This is a velour tool, and this you can put right into the lash and brush that out. And that is going to separate and lift your lashes. If you find like you've got maybe a little spot in there, I know you brush your hair, you brush your teeth, you should probably brush your lashes. So I'm just going right up next to that lash band and just combing through those lashes. We're just going to do that over here as well because it looks like I may have a little bit of glue residue from, you know, the last 14 times I wore these. There you go. We're just brushing through it. And now they're all clear and brushed and ready to go. So I am using the Allure. This is the 18-hour lash glue. I am going to grab the lash with my velour lash tweezers. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like that. This has a paddle, not a brush. And we're just going to put that right on the top corner of that band and then on the back side of the band. I'm just going to evenly distribute and spread that out. You can see it's white to start out with. Once it starts to dry and is ready to put on, it'll start to get a little bit clear. So that's just kind of a tell of when it's ready to go. I'm going to grab that other lash band and we'll do the same thing on the other side. And then again on the back side of that band. This is a clear band, but it's still, even so, it still has the top edge and then it has the back side. I like to make sure to pay special attention to the inside and outside and corners as you are putting on your lash adhesive, because those are the most likely areas to give you a little bit of lift. So we're just going to give ourselves a little extra insurance as we do that. So another thing is when you get your lashes and it's your first pair, you can take this on both corners and just kind of roll it like this, and that will soften that band and also give it more of an eye shape. So I'm going to take this here. We're just going to fan it because it's not quite ready to go yet. This will speed up the process for that adhesive. Okay, so now I don't remember if this is the inside or the outside. We're just going to go here. So we're going to take that right in the middle and set it right on that eyeliner line that we gave ourselves. And then we're going to walk it around. So I'm going to do the inside corner first, right on that eyeliner line. I'm going to take the outside corner, get it right on that eyeliner line. And then we're going to make sure that our lashes and the false lashes are all in that same space together. So we're just going to, ooh, that was fun. Look at that. See, I told you the adhesive wasn't quite ready. There you go. So kind of a good thing when it does that. If it pops loose like that, don't even worry about it. Just like when you super glue something together, when it separates and then comes back together, it makes a stronger bond and it tends to dry a little bit faster. So it's all good. Just going to make sure that this is nice, and here we go. I'm going to use the tip of that to work my lashes into the false lashes. Because that lifted on me a little, I'm just going to give another walk through to make sure we're all good. There we go. Still on the eyeliner line. Yep. Okay, now we're all good there. See the difference that the lashes make? These are in the natural end of the lashes, so it's not like, you know, caterpillar be living up there. But it does give you a nice lift, and look at how much my blue looks blue with that. So I'm going to grab the lash on the other side. We're going to do all that same thing again. So grab the edges, give it a little bit of curl, grab it in the middle, set it down right in the middle on your liner line. Or not. There we go. I think a little adhesive got on my tip, so I'm going to take my tissue and just wipe that off. There you go. The beautiful thing about this tool is it really allows you to fine-tune where your lashes are going so it can be exactly where you want it to be. So I'm just going to make sure the lashes are all in the same space together. I have no idea what my arm just touched on that light setting. I apologize. But now, what did it do? Did you enjoy that little strobe light show as much as I just did? There we go. So I'm going to take the tip. We're going to work that in there just like that and make sure everything's good to go. Nice. And you can see how nice and separated those lashes are because we combed them before we put them on. And we got something in the air today and my eyes are watering, so please forgive that. Okay, so now we've got our lashes on. I'm just gonna give a little press, make sure everything's nice and stuck tight. Everything feels good. I don't feel any gaps. Okay, so now we've got that going on. You can see the orange And the yellow that we worked through up here with that little bit of kind of pinky orange on the outside corner just to give us a little bit of depth. Then we've got that beautiful hot paprika on our lips. What do we got now? Let's go ahead and say our verse together. It is almost ready to roll around. And then we actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and do this. Let's go, because I know we're already 9 verses deep. So let's go ahead and, oh, yay. Thank you. I'm glad you like that. So let's go ahead and we're going to go to, well, no, we need to set it. Let's set it. Here we go. Juvia's place. Ready, set, sealed. Give it a shake. Give it a spray. Now everything you did is going to stay all day long. You are now a beautiful mess for the rest of the day. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at our verses that we've got for for our review. Okay, there we go. Okay. So, I, James, am a slave of God and the Master Jesus, writing to the 12 tribes scattered to kingdom come. Hello! And I think I can actually use this button and it'll make it go. Yay! There we go. Consider it a sheer gift, friends, when tests and challenges come at you from all sides. You know that under pressure, your faith life is forced into the open and shows its true colors. So don't try to get out of anything prematurely. Let it do its work so you may become mature and not well-developed and not deficient in any way. If you don't know what you're doing, ask the Father. He loves to help. You'll get his help and you won't be condescended to when asking for it. Ask boldly, believingly, without a second thought. People who worry their prayers are like wind-whipped waves. Don't think you're going to get anything from the Master that way. Staying adrift at sea, keeping all your options open. When down and outers get a break, cheer. And when the arrogant and rich are brought down to size, cheer. Prosperity is as short-lived as a wildflower, so don't ever count on it. You know that as soon as the sun rises and lets down its scorching heat, the flower withers, the petals wilt, and before you know it, that beautiful face is nothing but a barren stem. Well, that's a picture of the prosperous life. At the very moment that people are looking on in admiration, it fades away to nothing. And I can always remember that last part because that's the name of the song, Fades Away to Nothing. Okay. Let's see. Anyone who meets a testing challenge head on and manages to stick it out is mighty fortunate. For such persons loyally in love with God, the reward is life and more life. Okay, don't let anyone under pressure give in to evil say, God is trying to trip me up. God is impervious to evil. God puts evil in no one's way. The temptation to give in to evil comes from us and only us. We have no one to blame but the leering, seducing flare-up of our own lust. Lust gets pregnant and has a baby, sin. Sin grows up to adulthood and becomes, the name of the song, a real killer. Okay, so my very dear friends, don't get thrown off course. Every desirable and beneficial gift comes out of heaven. The gifts are rivers of light cascading down from the Father of light. And there is nothing, there is nothing deceitful in God, nothing two-faced, nothing fickle. Oh yeah, there's nothing two-faced, nothing fickle. He brought us to life using the true word, showing us off as the crown of all his creatures. And then last week, post this at your intersections, dear friends. Lead with your ears, follow up with your tongue, and let anger straggle along in the rear. Oh, God's righteousness doesn't grow from human anger. So throw all your spoiled virtue and cancerous evil in the garbage. In simple humility, our gardener, God, will landscape you with his word, making you a salvation garden, making a salvation garden of your life. Okay, and then our verse this week. How many of you are hanging on with me? This is wonderful and frightening all at the same time. Okay, so this week we're working on don't fool yourself into thinking that you are a listener when you are anything but. Letting the word go, letting the word go in one ear and then out the other. Act on what you hear. Those who hear and don't act are like those who glance in the mirror, walk away, and 2 minutes later have no idea what they are or what they look like. So that gets us from James 1 all the way to verse 24. So I hope that you were hanging with me for that. It has been delightful to work our way through, study our way through, and then memorize the book of James together. So again, this is all coming from Color Me James, and I am doing a coloring book only version of this. So if you don't want to do the study part of it, that is an option for you. And again, the Cherish Queen membership level has where you get the ebook for free. So you can take that ebook and put it into an app like, what's it called? Procreate, I believe, and color those coloring pages, or print it out and do it by hand, one way or the other, what makes you happy. So all of our scripture from season 3 are coming from this book, Color Me James, a spirited exploration of faith and memory. And you can get that on my website, on Amazon, or really YouTube as well. Okay, so you can find a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus on your favorite video podcast platform. So please like and subscribe. Make sure that you check out the Beauty and Grace Insider on YouTube. That is a YouTube item. So until we meet again, my friends. Oh, sorry, there's the Beauty and Grace Insider. So you can see there's 3 levels, but the Cherish Queen is the one that gets you the ebook. So until we meet again, my friends, let me send a blessing out over you this week. So number 624 through 26, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift his countenance upon you and give you peace. Heavenly Father, how thankful I am for all these women that have come and hung out here with me live. For those who are watching this streamed later on, Father, I just pray that you would send them out this week, helping us to hide your word in our heart, Father, that we would see the vision, the inspiration, the breath of God in the word this week, that to be good listeners, to be a good listener means that we hear it and then we act on it and it changes us. Father, help us to just memorize these, recall these as we need for encouragement for ourselves, for edification for ourselves, for others. Father, help these to just be a resource. Let those live in us. Father, I pray blessings on these women as they go out throughout their week, and help us to just have a wonderful, blessed time, a divine appointment between now and next Thursday. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Well, it has been a delight to hang out with you this week. I absolutely love that each one of you has been here, even though y'all were a little bit quiet today. And I look forward to seeing you on social media this next week. Now, I will confess, my social media platform has had a little bit of a problem, so I may be a little bit quieter until they get all that fixed, but I will do my best to get stuff posted for you. So at very least, you're going to see the song come out and then those graphics. So until we meet again next time, friends, I love you and God bless. Mwah!